You are looking live at North Shore High School, home of the Lady Vikings, where they are about to take on the Wantagh Warriors in this Friday edition of the Varsity Media Sports Network's lacrosse coverage. Gavin Shaw, Ben Turchin here with you. Ben, should be an interesting game. North Shore 5-7, Wantagh 6-7, but this Wantagh team certainly has talent that belies that record.
Yeah, I think that this is a very young team, head coached by Robin Pastich, that will tell you a lot of sophomores playing for her. They've had some really nice victories in the past two against Port Washington on the road and St. John the Baptist, scoring 17 goals in both of those games. So I think right now they're pretty hot coming in.
Yeah, Wantagh absolutely rolling offensively. A couple of great offensive weapons for them. Madison Taylor, just a freshman, already 42 points on 38 goals on the season. The rest of their contributors, underclassmen as well, or at least the vast majority, are offensively. Defensively, you look at Danielle Carson, a senior captain and USC commit. Now let's look at North Shore, Ben, 5-7 again, but they have a trio of sisters that might just be the most talented group on Long Island.
Yeah, the Colbert sisters, and we saw them earlier in the season against Port Washington. Caitlin, the senior. You also have Kylie Colbert, Casey Colbert, some of the underclassmen. But as they go, so does this North Shore team. And right now, they come into the game losers of two, Bronxville and Southside. So they're really looking to get back on the board.
Absolutely, and they have some other contributors on that North Shore side. You look at Michaela Fitzpatrick, 19 points on the season in her own right, and perhaps the best of that group of sisters, just a freshman. And let's get into it with the starters. We're going to look at Wantagh first, the road team. The Warriors, again, 6-7 on the year, and led by mostly underclassmen. Let's bring it up right now. Dylan Small, Shay Nsinga, Ryan Smith, Shannon Sullivan, Lena Musa, Jill Balkunis, who has been playing spectacularly of late. She has 12 goals over their last two games. Madison Taylor, who we mentioned for you. McKenna Booten, who's sort of the next girl up defensively when Daniel Carson and Angela Landsberg graduate. And then, of course, Ali Aliamo, who is certainly a contributor on the defensive end for them. Gianna Sirachi in goal. Now let's take a look at the home team, the North Shore Vikings, the starting lineup for them. And we told you the highlights, the three Colbert sisters, certainly the names to watch. Caitlin is the one who starts on attack, the middle sister, Gabriella Scott, Michaela Fitzpatrick, Olivia Schatz, Kate Gillum, Casey Colbert, and Kylie Colbert. Defensively, it's Andrea Leota, Francesca Corazzo, Emma Fitzpatrick, and Eliza Ritter. And the goalie tender is Emma Russo in her second year starting. So, Ben, we have two teams relatively equal records, though Wantagh has certainly been playing better lacrosse of late. What's sort of your expectation for how this one goes down?
I think this is going to be, listen, we've been all over the Nassau County boys and girls games. We've had some good matchups going in, which we thought, like Syosset-Massapequa, was going to be a good game. I think more than any game we've done, Gavin, today has the two most evenly matched teams in this game. I really believe that. The records are somewhat even. They've both played common opponents pretty well. The only common opponent where they fared differently was Southside, where Wantagh beat Southside and North Shore lost to Southside. Every other game you look at, whether it's Manhasset or Cold Spring Harbor or Massapequa, they've either won or lost to those teams. The same, exactly the same. So I think we're going to be in for a very evenly matched game, and hopefully that'll indicate itself on the field.
Something to look forward to. We'll have it for you next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
About to get underway here at North Shore High School, second to last regular season game of the season on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Again, Gavin Shaw, Ben Turchin here with you. It's North Shore in white, Wantagh in red and or black and gold, excuse me. And the draw control to start it off. We are underway. Playoff implications for both these teams. Certainly a must-win situation for each one. Wantagh again came into the season with a young group, but really high expectations under new coach Robin Pastuch. And for North Shore, this a typically strong team. They lost a lot of talent off of last year's group. 9 seniors graduating on what was one of Meg McCormick's better squads. But with the 3 Colbert sisters back, they certainly have a lot of frontline talent, Ben.
You look at first of all, look at these Colbert sisters. You've got Kylie, 35 goals, 7 assists. You've got Caitlin, 23 goals, 11 assists. You've got Casey, 18 goals, 12 assists. That is the team, Gavin. I mean, there's a lot of great players for North Shore, but we mentioned at the top, as they go, so does this team. So North Shore, Meg McCormick will need those 3 to get going today.
Absolutely.
And then a nice ground ball or turnover right off the bat for North Shore, but here comes Wantagh.
Yeah, and it's quickly turned back over to Wantagh. Shane Singa, whose brother we saw the other day on the Wantagh boys side when they lost to Cold Spring Harbor. A nice little run towards the goal.
We have seen a lot of family members playing lacrosse through the year, through the season. You get brothers and sisters, brothers, twins, all that. You know, lacrosse is a family sport.
Yeah, especially with the Colbert sisters. I was actually watching a little story from the Varsity Media Network. As you see, the free position shot there, denied that time. It was off the stick of Balkunis.
Yeah, we played that last time we were here at halftime. Good story, the Colbert sisters, and what a great family they are.
Yeah, very interesting to watch. Obviously, both their parents, big-time lacrosse players in their own right.
Right.
As that loose ball scooped up by who else? Madison Taylor.
Right, Tim played at college, and Dana played at high school. And they've obviously instilled that kind of lacrosse love for their 3 daughters.
And it's just awesome to see because with a lot of families, you'd see maybe even a little bit of resentment that the best of the group is the youngest in Kylie Colbert. But talking to Meg McCormick, she's saying it's the exact opposite. Her sisters are just so proud of her, and they think that her success is sort of a product of getting to go against the 2 of them growing up. So it is sort of a family success story. And the good news is all 3 are probably, at the end of the day, going to end up getting scholarships to go to college. So the effort certainly paid off. The roll dive there, and then the miss on the bounce shot. Close contest to see who got to that one first. I think it's going to stay with Wantagh, though.
Olivia Benedetto getting close to the cage there for a shot opportunity, but give Emma Russo credit. She played great the last time we were here against Port Washington. She's on her way to play college lacrosse as well. And right off the bat, getting a good start there for North Shore. I was about to say North Shore's playing some good defense here to start the game. And I know that Coach Pastich, speaking with her on the field, she wants to get off to a fast start. She wants her attackmen really to put shots on net, and that's what they're trying to do right now.
You see that athletic dodge. What a move that time to find some room by Balkunis, but nothing doing on the finish.
Yeah, another good opportunity there by Emma Russo for a save, although it went a little bit wide, but she may have contested that.
This is interesting where this Wantagh team has really excelled the last couple of weeks. I think you were just kind of hinting at this, Ben, but it's been in transition. It's been sort of those quick hitters and now a long, drawn-out possession against the settled defense, though. You got to give them credit for holding on to it, and simultaneously you got to give North Shore a lot of credit for holding up over the first couple of minutes of this one.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick playing a little aggressive there. Emma Fitzpatrick, number 25, the senior for North Shore. Now Wantagh will get a good look here.
It's another free position situation. Wantagh tries to score the initial goal of this one, just under 22 minutes left in the first half. And that one defended nicely by Emma Russo.
How about Fitzpatrick, though, after she committed the infraction, gets right in there defensively to alter the shot. You've got to give 25 a ton of credit there.
Great hustle from Fitzpatrick. Dodge by Taylor, creating room, and just throws it away when the defense for this North Shore group enclosed on them. We were lucky enough, Ben, to have Meg McCormick do a game with us the other week, and it was interesting to get some insight into how she thinks about the sport, and you see what a great job she's done with this group that's so young. Obviously 5-7 doesn't seem like a great record, but given everything they lost off of last year's team, North Shore, a relatively small school to begin with, they've been really competitive this year.
But they also play some of the harder, tougher programs in Nassau County. They challenge themselves to play Manhasset and Garden City and Long Beach. These are some of the upper echelon programs that you could play non-league, so you have to give them credit. And same for Wantagh. They do the same thing.
So Emma Russo finally comes up with that loose ball, was trying to pick it up with the stick, and eventually just gave up and grabbed it with her hand and said, you know what, I'm just going to get this out of here. So we finally get an opportunity potentially to see the North Shore offense if they can break through this ride. Able to now. Nice run up the field that time by Kate Gilliam.
And Wantagh got away with a little bit of a push there on Kylie Colbert, number 17. Ball is in her stick right now.
And that's Wantagh's MO. Again, they're going to push officials to make calls very, very aggressive defensively. Talking to her pregame, Robin Pastuch saying her senior duo of Angela Landsberg and Danielle Carson, probably the two best, or at least the best pair of defenders she feels any team has on Long Island.
Yeah, Danielle Carson, number 4 today in the black and gold, and she's on her way to USC to play lacrosse, Gavin. And you look at the weather today, a May 3rd on Long Island. That's not a bad college choice.
No, I'm with it. I went to a Pac-12 school, and I do want to go back on days like this. So shot fired wide of net. It'll stay with North Shore. Michaela Fitzpatrick unable to find the range that time, looking for her 12th goal on the season.
Actually, I think that was Casey Colbert, number 16, firing that off, and that's what North Shore is looking for, shots on goal.
Colbert on the year. She's been excellent. The middle sister, just a sophomore, and in some ways gets lost in the shuffle just because of the brilliance of her two sisters. But you look at the stats, 28 points, 18 goals, 10 assists. She's been really spectacular in her own right. So free position opportunity for North Shore, trying to score first. Run on goal, dodge, shot, bounces safely into the net. Or, excuse me, the stick of Gianna Sirachi.
That was Fitzpatrick that time. The 18 and the 16 are tough to see from up here, folks. Can get confused. But, yeah, so North Shore got a shot on goal. I think they want a little bit better look next time.
And one of those unsettled opportunities Wantagh hunts out possession after possession. You mentioned in the pregame, Ben, coming off 2 straight games with 17 goals apiece. They'd been solid offensively throughout the year, and it was sort of a point of frustration for Robin Pastuch that she felt like their defense had to carry them, and they weren't able to make it up on offense the last 2 games. That trend has totally flipped, and they've been dominant offensively.
Sometimes Wantagh's offense shows up to the games. They've been really potent. We've seen the past 2 games, 17 goals, but other times, against St. Anthony's, only 5 goals, Manhasset only 5. Those are some of the better teams guaranteed there, but Robin would like a little bit more consistency.
Oh, Madison Taylor, I think she hit the pole that time. Could not have been closer to getting a goal there despite about 3 or 4 white jerseys around her. And it's interesting talking to Robin Pastuch. Obviously, she was with that Hewlett program we got to see a couple of times earlier in the season, made the transition this year over to Wantagh, saying that as much as she loved the program at Hewlett, the girls she had at Hewlett, she wanted a new challenge and to go to a program like Wantagh that just by the very nature of their school, all these girls are interested in playing lacrosse at the next level. And she said, we had some great talents at Hewlett, but you just don't necessarily have that same depth. And Wantagh really presents that great opportunity as we see North Shore making a run here.
Yeah, and I think that had Robin stayed another year at Wantagh, and she had some Hewlett, she had some opportunities to come to Wantagh. But you see Hewlett, you had mentioned them, reaping the benefits of the great goalie and some senior leadership there this year. Had she stayed, I think she would have had the same success that Jackie Hughes is having at Hewlett this year. So she takes a new challenge with Wantagh, and things are on the up and up there for the Warriors this year.
It was funny, she mentioned, as you see the nice check inside to
dislodge
the ball from Gabby Scott. You heard the whistle blow.
Yeah, they're going to say that Gabrielle Scott a little too aggressive there, and it's a turnover North Shore.
So Wantagh trying to attack an unsettled defense, and you see the speed here.
That's
for
Carson,
the Warriors.
The defenseman.
Carson, the USC commit. That's what she's known for. Great lob inside and a finish. The first goal of the day goes the way of the Warriors, and it was created by Danielle Carson's brilliance rushing up the field and then finished off nicely that time by, it looked to be, I thought that was Dylan Small, but let's check out the replay and confirm who that was. But regardless, just what a great run.
Is it 22 or 20? It's hard to see.
Yeah, we can't quite tell. See on the finish.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Dylan Small getting the opening goal. We'll give her credit. So padding her stats either way, and the Wantagh Warriors up 1-0 over North Shore.
It was definitely Dylan Small. Sometimes the numbers are hard to see on the black uniforms, wearing number 20 today. So a nice job. But like you said, that was started by Danielle Carson.
Yeah, what a run by Carson. Again, the USC commit. And that's sort of her MO defensively, that speed and the ability to turn defense into offense in a second. And Ben, that's what Wantagh's really done so well the last couple of weeks, those electric bursts of offense and just overwhelming opposition.
And that all started on a turnover by North Shore, so they had opportunity on their offensive side. So Coach McCormick just needs to settle down. The Lady Vikings, they're in this game.
What an effort to get to that ball by Madison Taylor. She had a lot of competition, 2 white jerseys right around her. And it'll stay with Wantagh as they look to add to a 1-0 lead. So you approach the 16-minute mark of half number 1.
Good defense there on the double by the Vikings. Give credit to Eliza Ritter, only an 8th grader, playing some defense today.
Yeah, Ritter, and I mean, obviously we mentioned her a couple of times, but in combination with Kylie Colbert, who 40 points, 35 goals, 5 assists, has been a little quiet in the early going, but 2 8th graders who could end up getting some college interest. Obviously, Colbert in particular, they think that she's going to end up being a national recruit, which is something that North Shore, they've produced their share of talent over the years, but they haven't had too many like her. And it was interesting. I just flat out asked Meg McCormick whether she thought Colbert had a chance to be the best player in school history, and obviously only an 8th grader, she was hesitant to go that far, but certainly would not rule it out.
Well, I think one of the things is when you're the youngest of the 3 and you've seen your older sisters play so well, I think there's just that sister, we should add 3, competitiveness. And let's not take anything away from Casey and Caitlin. I mean, Caitlin's going to Monmouth to play. And, you know, at some point, Casey will commit as well. So all 3 are really having successful high school careers.
And I believe Casey actually just picked up a penalty, so she's out the next 2 minutes. It'll be an EMO for this Wantagh team.
North Shore has been overly aggressive in this game. I know they've lost 2 in a row. I know that they're looking for another win here. They want to get back on the winning track, but it's very interesting that they've come up so aggressive to start this game.
Extra pass. Oh, they had a wide open attacker in front of net. It looked to be Lena Musa, and instead North Shore will have an opportunity at an odd man rush.
And there you see Kylie, as we're just talking about her, with the stick skills, able to move it to the left hand just to avoid some traffic there and continue the offensive push for North Shore.
Michaela Fitzpatrick, what a great job to control that one. Now you see Olivia Schatz up the left alley. And they'll just restart the offense, try and run down this penalty. 1:16 on the clock, though. This Wantagh defense, they're aggressive even when they don't have an extra defender, so you better expect some double teams coming the way of North Shore.
Yeah, let's see how North Shore chooses to play this one. Down a man, and there you see Wantagh being a little aggressive there with the push, that time on Ali Alemo. And North Shore will just get a free start.
Don't have to wait for the whistle this year on that start. You're allowed to go a little bit earlier.
Right.
See, circling pressured is Caitlin Colbert, the Monmouth commit. Now triple team. Great job being patient, staying on the ball. But now look at that aggressive defense. But officials, again, slowing Wantagh down a little bit as North Shore ever closer to killing this penalty.
Musa, again, a little aggressive Wantagh. That's 2 in a row there. But, you know, they can afford to be like that right now because they're a man up.
Olivia Schatz nearly threw it away. It was a prime opportunity for Michaela Fitzpatrick, but the officials blow the play dead yet again.
Well, here's a free opportunity here for North Shore. Wouldn't this be a big-time momentum change if they could put a goal in net here, down a man up?
Michaela Fitzpatrick one-on-one with Gianna Sirachi. When the whistle blows, everyone's going to coalesce right around her. There you go. Fitzpatrick fires and puts it in, tying this one up at 1.
Just an outstanding job by North Shore on that entire offensive set. They could have killed like you had maybe alluded to. They decided not to. Wantagh was a little aggressive there defensively. Maybe not the right play there, but they tried it anyways, and it came back to bite them a little bit because they got a free shot on goal out of it.
Let's take a look at that replay. Fitzpatrick, again, you see a couple black jerseys around her, but been so decisive on that quick release. So Michaela Fitzpatrick, that's her 12th goal on the season, 20th point. And we are all tied up at 1 with 13:44 left in the first half. Vikings not only kill the penalty, they actually pick up a goal in the process. Draw control, what a big-time catch on the face-off by Kylie Colbert, but she lost it immediately, now trying to win it back and a little bit overly aggressive in doing so. This has been a very choppy game so far, back and forth with both these teams coming off very aggressive, Ben, knocking defenders to the floor, bodies flying, sticks flying. It's a lot of fun here at North Shore High School.
Gavin, I think both of these teams want to win. I think they're very evenly matched. I think they know that they're evenly matched, and I think, you know, both of these teams kind of say, hey, we want to beat you. And there's nothing wrong with that, a competitive fire, and I think that's why you see it being a little aggressive. And also, these are Class C teams come playoff time, which is only a couple of weeks away. You never know. They might see each other again come playoff time.
certainly a possibility. Wantagh's very high aspirations for the postseason as that shot was blocked away. It came from Balkunis again, I believe, but Emma Russo right there in net, standing strong.
Well, I got to tell you, the one girl that I've seen come to play today has been Emma Fitzpatrick for North Shore, number 25 defensively. She altered that shot. She's playing aggressively but smart. When she did commit a foul, she came right back on a free shot to adjust the shot. That didn't go in. I've been very, very impressed with the way that senior has played today.
This North Shore group, again, there's not really that one standout defensively. It's a lot of solid options. You look at Emma Fitzpatrick, Andrea Leota, though, both team captains for a reason. A lot of heart, a lot of hustle within that group. And against the Wantagh offense that, at least on paper, has superior talent, they've really held up well throughout this first half.
And you know what else, Gavin? When you've lost 2 in a row, you're under 500, you have playoff aspirations of winning, maybe getting to a conference championship. You need senior leadership in a time like this to step up. And you need to see it on the field. You need to show the younger players, hey, this is how we got to play to get a win like this today. And that's where Emma Fitzpatrick, her play is doing the talking, and you give her credit for that.
Ambitious cut in that time by Balkunis, but Fitzpatrick and company there to knock it away. North Shore has been forced to play a lot of time defensively, even though this game is tied. You get the feeling if we had time of possession stats, Wantagh would be well ahead, but they've done such a good job so far holding up. I guess if you want to flip that around, though, the upside for Wantagh, in most of the games they've lost this year, it's been simply because their defense that's so excellent has just gotten tired, and that certainly doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue today.
Right now you see the goalie, Emma Russo, holding on, just looking for an open player, and Fitzpatrick now.
Fitzpatrick, such a good job handling in that midfield. Again, the versatility for both these teams, impressive. What a run on net right now. You see a hop, skip, and a jump from Andrea Leota, the defensive player, showing off a little bit of athleticism on the opposite side of the field.
Now here's Caitlin Colbert. I'd like to see her make a move here, get a shot on goal. The senior attackman, she's got to put one in.
That one right at the knees of Sirachi, who was just able to kick it away. A good placement by Colbert, but Sirachi, right place, right time to stop it.
It was a great shot and an even better save. That's exactly what you want. And give Colbert credit, being aggressive, shot on net. That's what North Shore needs.
You continue to see the brilliance one-on-one defensively, though, for Wantagh in that duo. That time it was Ali Imo, nominally the 4th defender for this Wantagh group, but you get why Robin Pastuch considers that back four such a strength. There really isn't a weak spot.
No, there's not. Alimo is also on her way to play college CW Post. So the defense for Wantagh, you could see why they are good. They're aggressive, but they're aggressive and they're good. They force turnovers. Carson right here, ball in her stick, and they're fast. And that's obviously, like you said, the strength of this team.
Carson, just ridiculous the way she's able to push it up the field. And handling into center and then losing it that time.
Yeah, they're going to get a ticky-tack foul on Fitzpatrick. She was a little upset about that call.
Yeah, that was Madison Taylor, excuse me.
Taylor's a name to look at here for Wantagh offensively. She's been playing very well late here in the season. She wears number 24 for the Warriors.
So on the attack now is Lena Musa. A lot of options for this Wantagh group. You go over the stats. About 6 players with double-digit points, 4 or 5 with double-digit goals, forcing her way inside and firing and scoring that time beautifully for Wantagh. Looked to be Jill Balkunis again. So a 2-1 advantage for the Warriors, and Balkunis, who has 12 goals coming into this game over her last 2, continues her hot stretch.
And that was a great move because North Shore's defense has played so well. Let's get another look at that. First the fake, then she gets by 2 defenders, and then with one more stepping up, she just throws it on net, and it goes in. What a job. Outstanding individual effort there.
Yeah, it was hard. You couldn't even quite tell that it went in until Russo punched the dirt. It really was spectacular. Robin Pastuch saying Balkunis is really coming to her own this year. She has a couple games where she doesn't score, and then they just come in waves, and we've seen that over the last two. And sort of as Jill Balkunas has gone, so has this Wantagh team, as they have a 2-1 lead over the Vikings. 9:04 left in half number 1.
Nice draw win there by Kylie Colbert. Let's see if she takes it to the house.
Kylie trying to do just that, and she does. Individual effort, brilliance that time from Kylie Colbert, and the 8th grader who's largely been quiet. A loud roar to tie this game.
Folks, we thought we were going to get a very evenly matched game today, and so far it has lived up to the battle. Not much to see here, just an individual effort, like you said, Gavin. Off the draw win, coming across, right-handed shot, beating the goalie. Outstanding job. You had said she's a top recruit, or will be, and that's a reason why.
Absolutely no fear in her game. Goes 150% at all times, according to her head coach, Meg McCormick. I think this is just insane. She was all-county honorable mention as a 7th grader. I was picking my nose in 7th grade, Ben. That's insane. All-county honorable mention.
Again, I think it speaks to the family. I think when you have older sisters that have been successful and you have parents that have instilled the sport and the love of lacrosse, you're going to pick that up. And if you switch it, if it was Caitlin who was the younger, maybe she'd be in that position. If it was Casey who was younger, maybe she'd be in that position. But all three of them, again, we can't say it enough, all three of them very successful with the sport.
And the chemistry between the three of them just outstanding, really the heart and soul of this North Shore team. And it's going to be really interesting to see just what Kylie turns into. Obviously, she's going to end up playing the majority of her high school career without her two sisters, right, when you look at those last 2 years after Casey graduates.
Yeah, I think you hit on something important, because this is the last year the three of them play together. Obviously, Caitlin, the senior, on her way to Monmouth.
Michaela Fitzpatrick attacking net, and I think that one was put home again by Colbert.
Yes, Kylie with her second.
So Kylie Colbert, the middle schooler, going on a little bit of a run, in the Vikings just like that in a game that Wantagh, I'd hesitate to say they've dominated, but certainly the feel is they've been in control, and all of a sudden the Vikings have a 1-goal lead.
How about that? It was sister to sister. That was Casey Colbert, 16, in on the pass, and you've seen that so many times this season where one sister dishes to the other for a goal, and it was on display there.
How about the patience from Casey, who is one of the more talented passers on this Wantagh team, on this North Shore team, now up to 11 assists on the season. So shifty, so anticipatory, and Kylie taking advantage on the cut. The sister telepathy that time, and a 3-2 lead for the Vikings over the Warriors.
There's Andrea Liotta now going. Remember, self-start, like you had said. Wantagh's all over here on the head. But like you said, self-start, new rule in girls lacrosse this year. Don't have to wait for the referee whistle. Liotta taking it upon herself there on the self-start, and I think it might have caught Wantagh a little bit by surprise there.
So another quick run. Ball again in the stick of Kylie Colbert.
Going back to Kylie for a second, one of the things that makes her so special, as we see it evident on the field today, is her shot. It's so fast. It's so hard. I mean, it's almost like a guy's shot. She's a very strong player for such a young age.
Well, another opportunity for her sister here, Casey, who has it knocked away on the check. She's chased down defensively by a couple of black jerseys. Chance now for Caitlin, looping, firing a bouncer and in. The Colbert sisters are taking over this game, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Vikings.
I'm not sure if Coach McCormick ran a pick play there. We're going to take another look at it. But it did seem like it was a play designed for Caitlin to come around the top and have a good look at a shot, and she made it work. So let's take one more look here. As you see at the top, there is a little bit of a pick play there, and just an outstanding job. It looked like number 21 for North Shore getting in the way, Olivia Schatz. Give her a little credit.
Yeah, the brilliance of that is it gives Caitlin Colbert a little bit of an angle to put that bounce shot in the opposite side of the cage. So a timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
War is hell. But for seriously injured Army Rangers, their families, and the families of the fallen, peace can be hell too. It's up to us to lead them back. Support Army Ranger Lead the Way Fund. Ease the costly burdens of rehab and vital living expenses. Our son Jimmy Regan would be the first to give, and he was.
Windscreens too, we could try.
Back to action here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A 4-2 advantage for the North Shore Vikings over the Wantagh Warriors. Again, it's Gavin Shaw, Ben Turchin here with you. Ben, for the majority of this first half, a very low-scoring game, and since then, it's been the Colbert Sisters show. 2 in a row for Kylie, and then the big sister getting in on the action. Caitlin picking up her first of the game, and you have a 4-2 lead.
Something's clicking right now for North Shore, and we said it at the beginning that if as the sisters go, they go. And you've got Kylie and Caitlin, and also give Casey some credit because she was in on an assist on one of Kylie's goals. So the last 3, by the way, unanswered by Wantagh for North Shore has all been Colbert sisters.
They've been absolutely dynamic as we wrap up this first half. Wantagh, well, what do they have to do to get back on track here? Obviously, you haven't seen that typical transition offense coming off 2 straight games with 17 goals, only 2 with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, the first thing I think Wantagh has to do is they're playing good defensively, but I think they're playing a little over-aggressive, and it's led to some free starts. It led to a little bit more space for North Shore. I don't know if you're Coach Pastic, if you want to taper back on that because that's what their bread and butter is, but maybe play a little smarter just so you don't avoid some of those penalties or those mistakes and give North Shore those opportunities. That would be my only adjustment for Wantagh. Offensively, Gavin, I think they're getting shots. You had mentioned at the time of possession, maybe not since the last 2 minutes, but had been on the Wantagh side. They've had shots on goal. North Shore's defense has just played outstanding.
Absolutely. They've been so solid, and coming into this one, it was the Wantagh group with commits to USC, to Vassar in the forms of Danielle Carson and, of course, Angela Landsberg. But this North Shore group that does not quite get that same pub, they have played an incredibly strong first half. Wantagh, though, a chance to change that here. On the run with it is McKenna Booten, another one of those defenders. Unimpeded is Madison Taylor.
Wow, that was a great steal by Kylie, and they're going to get a whistle on it. And Coach McCormick on the sideline, you can get a look at it, but she was besides herself, didn't agree with the call.
How about that matchup, though? Are there 2 better 8th graders on Long Island than those 2? Madison, 42 points. Kylie, 40 points. We've talked so much about Kylie. We've barely mentioned Madison, who, again, hasn't done a whole lot in this game, but 38 goals on the season, still in middle school. And you see it here. Just a brilliant offensive player, though. She has a lot of help from Jill Balkunis, spinning in to the crease and putting that one away.
Well, you knew Wantagh was going to get back on the board at some point. They weren't going to go too long without putting a goal in net. And Balkunis seems to be leading the way here for the Lady Warriors. Let's take another look here. Nice spin move.
Yeah, what a vicious dodge.
And she has some talent to be able to get a shot off even in traffic, Gavin, and that's tough to do.
Balkunis, we mentioned, she's been absolutely rolling over these last couple of games. Now has 2 goals, and her Warriors are within 1.
Folks, we told you we expected a real evenly matched game today with 2 teams that desperately need to continue winning and keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, in Division I regular season, Class C postseason, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. And right now, both of these teams playing very well.
Smith trying to get in on the action, Madison Taylor that time. And now Wantagh will slow it down a little bit, though they've had most of their offensive success come against an unsettled North Shore defense. This Vikings group has been very solid when they've been allowed to sit back on their haunches.
I also think let's give credit to Balkunis because she's had 2 great individual efforts to get around the North Shore defense. It's almost one of those tip your cap. What more can you do? You know, to use a basketball analogy, when you step up on a 3-point shooter and they still bury it, it's like, okay, hey, I played the defense, but you beat me. And that's kind of the situation that Balkunis has had 2 times so far against North Shore.
Approaching 5 minutes in what has been a highly competitive first half of action. Taylor spinning into room. Thought about firing and now has it taken away after the bluff. Great check that time.
Leota.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leota.
Andrea Leota, captain for this North Shore team.
Couldn't come away with the ball, but a nice job getting it at least out of the stick. And, Gavin, one of the things that we need to harp on more and more with this Wantagh team, because we mentioned with Balkunis and Taylor, these are underclassmen. These are freshmen and sophomores that Coach Pastic is going to be coaching for the next 3 years. We bring it up with the Colberts.
How about that? A little dunk shot that time. Easy does it for Dylan Small, putting it in on the 5-hole of Emma Russo, who never had much of a chance. And finally, we see a breakdown of this North Shore defense, and we're all tied up at 4.
Dylan Small, a junior, another girl returning next year. And I think we'll take another look at it real quick, and we'll get back to the Wantagh point here. That time, North Shore left her wide open. I think there was maybe some miscommunication. Elisa Ritter went towards the net. She should have stayed out on that one. So maybe some miscommunication on the part of the North Shore Vikings there.
So timeout taken. The Vikings got in control. Since then, it's been all Warriors, and we're tied up at 4 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Home stretch here in half number 1, just under 5 minutes to go, and we were wondering where that signature Wantagh run is, and it has come. A brilliant individual effort by Jill Balkunis, and then Dylan Small finding the back of the net via the 5-hole, and Wantagh all tied up back in this game, and they have the momentum right now, Ben.
They have the momentum. They fired off after some unanswered goals. They came back. But, North Shore has to like where they are in this game because things are tied at 4 apiece. They're the home team. There's still more time to play here in the first half. And I think all they need to do is get back on the offensive zone if you're North Shore and get the Colbert sisters involved, which we just saw there for a few minutes. So
you got the feeling that they were just getting into rhythm, and for each of these teams, just a special group of players. We were talking to Meg McCormick pregame, who we mentioned earlier was nice enough to help us out on the broadcast last week, and she was talking about just all the different little things this North Shore group has done to have a little bit more togetherness, saying that we have a team of big sisters where we partner up an upperclassman with an underclassman to be their buddy for the season. I thought that was a great concept and something that Wantagh does maybe unofficially, but a similar level of mentorship with Daniel Carson helping out all the younger members of that defense. North Shore, though, takes it even a step further. She says they do yoga together. They have pasta parties. They make pies on Pie Day. They have Pancake Day at IHOP. So a lot of good food going on this North Shore team, and a lot of bonding as well, taking yoga classes, Team Soul Cycle, a lot of different little elements that make this North Shore team such a cohesive unit, and it obviously helps to have 3 sisters as your 3 best players, but even beyond that, it feels like this team is just a great level of unity.
Yeah, and I think Wantagh is building towards that as well. It'll take Coach Pastic a couple of years to get that going. She's instituting some of the same kind of ideas that North Shore is doing as well this year. But, it's her first year, so she'll be growing with a very young team. And you'll be looking out for Wantagh in the years to come. They're going to be a powerhouse in lacrosse, just like North Shore has been for the past couple of years.
Yeah, Pastich talking about just what a roller coaster ride it was when she first took over the program, came over from Hewlett in late January, so didn't really have much time to get to know her team. And she said, we were playing some of the best schools in the country, Cold Spring Harbor, Garden City. I didn't even know everyone's name yet at that point, and it was just sort of a shock, and because of it, they got blown out over the course of those first couple of games. You look at the schedule, very first game, losing 16-6 against Garden City, then 16-8 against Cold Spring Harbor, that was in games 2 and 3, and from that point forward, they've been relatively solid. We mentioned it, last 2 games have been excellent. As you see, free position opportunity here, and finding the back of the net, adding another goal for North Shore that time. Looked to be Kylie Colbert.
It was. Hat trick for Kylie, number 17 on a free position shot. That's just too easy. She's going to pretty much execute that every single time. But you had mentioned, momentum. It's going back and forth here. You surprised with North Shore with an opportunity. And again, Dylan, I think this leads to some aggressive, maybe over-aggressive defense by Wantagh. And give North Shore a lot of credit because when they're given those opportunities, they are converting.
Colbert, again, the top 90 range. What a quick release. Not even necessarily, you could compare it to a guy shot, but it wasn't even great power on that one, but just the positioning and just how quick she got out of her stick. Yeah.
Accuracy as well. She went a little top shelf on that one. She knows how to beat the goalies. You know, she gives them a couple of different looks throughout the game, keeping the goalies honest against her. And you're right, she's a special player. She has the knack, the smarts, and the skills for the game. As an 8th grader.
It's incredibly impressive. So the Vikings back in control after a 2-goal run by Wantagh to get back into it. See the first half dying down, just under 3 minutes to go. On what's been a rainy day on Long Island, really pouring about an hour and a half before game time is a big-time jump steal that time. It was great hustle by Gabby Scott.
Much needed turnover there. Keep the momentum going for the Vikings. But look at this triple team.
Yeah, Scott trying to beat the ride. She does. Excuse me, now it's Olivia Schatz with it. Trying to shift her way into space. Now she'll move it along.
Let's see if North Shore gets Caitlin Colbert involved. It's been a while since we called her name. She has the ball in her stick right now. And she loves that corner, likes to beat her man with a shot. And there you go.
Felt like deja vu. Caitlin Colbert, another one, same exact play, looping from left to right, and then able to put it in the bottom of the cage. So a 6-4 lead as the Colbert sisters continue to dominate this one for North Shore.
Well, when you see Caitlin right there in that position with the ball in her hand, and Wantagh this time doesn't come up to play her, she's going to beat her man pretty much every time. And she goes around that time, and it's too easy. Shot on goal right there, and it's been like when Kylie scores, take a look for Caitlin, because it's almost like the older sister, Gavin, needs to get her chance as well. And that's what happened earlier in the half, and history repeating itself.
And again on Ali Alimo, who is, again, a very strong defender in her own right. But that's sort of the beauty of having the 3 Colbert sisters. You're able to pick out that right matchup every time, able to avoid Landsberg and company. Wantagh able to work it center. Now the defense is all spaced out, a lot of room for Taylor to operate in.
Yeah, one of the Wantagh attackmen just lost the ball. She had a good shot on net, but unfortunate, unlucky there. It could have easily been 6-5.
Great defensive play that time by Francesca Carozzo to take it out of Taylor's stick. The 8th grader having a very slow game so far, at least by her standards.
North Shore getting back to get set numbers-wise, and they've played very good defensively. They've given Wantagh all kinds of fits here. Hasn't been easy for the Warriors. They do have 4 on the board, but it hasn't been that easy. Outside of Balkunis, and maybe Wantagh should look for her because she's had a lot of success.
I mentioned it a few times, which is one of those defenses where it always looks like there's an extra player on the field, but it didn't matter that time. Putting it in the 5-hole, you called it, Ben. Balkunis picks up a hat trick.
Yeah, she has really led the way for the Warriors right now, so they have to continue to look for her, number 19 for Wantagh. For whatever it is, she has found the magic touch here for the Warriors. So let's take another look at this and see if it was in traffic the way the first 2 goals were for her. That time a little bit more space. That was too easy, Gavin. I mean, she split the defense, and there's nothing Emma Russo can do. Point-blank range on net.
Another great shot by Balkunis. I believe it's Balkunis. Her jersey almost looks like number 18. Balkunis listed at 19. Number 18 is Jamie McDevitt, who's a defenseman, so that doesn't seem right. We're gonna assume that's Balkunis, but she's been playing a heck of a game at that spot.
We need the binoculars up here or something from the press box, you know. The numbers bleed into each other, a little difficult to see, but it did look the way that she's been playing like it was a Balkunis-type goal.
Again, coming into this one, 12 goals her last 2 games. Make it 15-3 now for Jill Balkunis.
Casey Colbert, nice job getting that ball, jumping into the air.
Yeah, how about that athletic ability?
Ooh, and her sister losing the ball. Going back to Wantagh, Gavin, that was an opportunity for North Shore to put another on the board. And then Caitlin gets it back.
So So with 39 seconds left.
No, they say she was out of bounds, so
Yeah.
it stays Wantagh ball.
We'll give it to Wantagh. Wantagh trying to make one last run. That one nearly picked off. Instead, a chance for the Warriors to break against an unsettled defense, and they nearly turn it over. Ground ball situation. Who's going to come up with it? Fight for it. Wantagh there for a second.
What's the call there? I didn't even see anything happen.
Yeah, no, it looked clean. I thought they were going to just keep it moving. 24 seconds, NBA-style shot clock now for Wantagh to finish up this half. So Wantagh running. Aaron Whitaker on it.
I mean, I don't see how you don't put the ball in Balkunas' hands here. I mean, that is, to me, that's where I'm going, number 19.
And Madison Taylor drawing a triple. Team now 4 white jerseys. You figure if she can make a pass, they're going to figure out a way to get a goal. 3, 2, 1. Last second shot wide of net.
What defense by Eliza Ritter, number 1, to force a tough shot at the end there. Great job, North Shore.
Yeah, really physical. She was just sort of towing the line there and counting on the official in that situation, giving her the benefit of the doubt. He did. She got the stop, and her Vikings are up by 1 as we head into the half on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages. Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
And welcome back, folks, here at North Shore. At the half, the Vikings, the Lady Vikings, I should say, with a 1-goal lead over the Lady Warriors of Wantagh. We expected this game to be a good one, and it's lived up to the billing so far. It's Ben Turchin with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network Halftime Report. Let's take a look at our final game of the season that's coming up next week on Wednesday, May the 8th. We're back to a boys' contest. Floral Park, the Knights hosting the Locust Valley Falcons. It'll be the second time this season that we're seeing the Falcons in play, and this should be a decent one as well. It'll be our first time visiting Floral Park for a showdown that the Knights will be hosting near the track, by the way, near Belmont, out there on the western part of Nassau County. That's a 4:45 start on Wednesday, and, of course, you can see the game free, streamed on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/varsitymedia. You can subscribe to the channel, and also if you click the little bell, you will be updated on any additional games that may come across. We are expecting at least a first round or possibly quarterfinal postseason live stream coming your way. We know that for boys, things get going on May 13th, but we don't have that schedule yet. Seeding's yet to be determined. We're still playing lacrosse, so we won't know that until middle of next week. So we ask that you continue to subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep you updated as much as possible. And by the way, you could follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Varsity Media. So once again, our score at the half, the North Shore Lady Vikings with a 1-goal lead over the Wantagh Lady Warriors. We'll be back with the second half right after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages. Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
Second half about to get underway on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We have a good one here at North Shore High School. Ben, we've been talking all season. We feel like we're cursed. We've been struggling to get a good game. Finally looks like this one going to have a highly competitive finish as North Shore, the home team, up by 1 over Wantagh. After the first half, the Colbert sisters dominated, and Jill Balkunis keeping Wantagh in with a hat trick on the other end.
Not only are we cursed, but we're also due, right, for a good game. And here we're getting one here at North Shore. You had mentioned Balkunas with a hat trick, but on the North Shore side, Kylie Colbert with a hat trick as well, and her older sister Caitlin with 2 goals. So it's been a very competitive affair. We thought we would get that. I know we sound like a broken record because we say that every single game we do. Hey, we expect to have a good game. Sayasa Massapequa we thought was going to, didn't live up to the hype.
We're optimists.
We're optimists, yeah. But today, right now, it is going to be a good game. And like you said, I expect the second half to be equally as good as the first half. Maybe better. Who knows? The underclassmen facing off here at midfield to start our second half.
Yeah, can you even call 8th graders underclassmen?
You're right. You can't.
The middle schoolers.
Middle schoolers would be the better terminology. Middle schoolers.
Yeah, so it's Madison Smith who had a very quiet first half, and Kylie Colbert. And incredibly, Colbert is probably, I would say, the more hyped of the two, but Smith actually has had the better season statistically, at least coming into this game. Colbert with those 3 goals in the first half, actually 1 point, 43-42 ahead of Smith now, so that'll be something to watch in the second half of this one. 25 minutes on the clock, draw control about to get underway. Officials say, no, do it again. Two middle schoolers battling for supremacy. Colbert's athleticism always really impressive, but that time Madison Smith able to get the better of her. So Smith, you bet they told her to come out aggressive, spinning through traffic, 4, 5, 6 jerseys. Now she makes a pass. How about that from Smith, somehow not losing it in the face of what seemed like the entire North Shore defense.
And with all those North Shore players coming up, you would have thought someone would have been open for an easy goal, but it wasn't the case for the Warriors right there.
Wantagh continues to probe. Lena Musa unable to find room. Cutting in, ducking out that time was Balkunis.
Is it me, or does it seem like the skies are getting darker here? I hope they don't open up.
Ominous. Right when we get a close game, that'd be typical that it starts raining. Thrown in front of net, intercepted nicely that time by Francesca Carozzo.
Frankie with the steal.
That's the second time we've seen Carozzo anticipate a pass coming her way and just jump in front of it. North Shore continues to play a picture-perfect game defensively, or darn close to it. It's been a few great individual efforts from Jill Balkunis, and outside of that, they've given up essentially nothing.
Yeah, you're right. Couldn't have described it any better. That time on the transition, you didn't like to see that from Andrea Leota. A little bit higher of a pass there would have done the job to Gabriella Scott. But in any event, it's back to Balkunis.
Balkunis lobs it inside. And North Shore, you can't catch him out of position. Great pass after great pass, and they continue to make plays on it. As you see the quick stick of Emma Russo to snag that one there.
Great play by the goalie. And now let's see what North Shore does. But you're right. North Shore has played up to the task defensively today.
Getting run out of bounds that time was Olivia Schatz. It's sort of the opposite on the other end. Despite how good this Wantagh defense has been at points and how well they played over the last 2 games, it feels like whenever North Shore is able to string together possession, they've made something happen. A chance to do that here. Getting stifled initially is Caitlin Colbert, though she'll circle back out. She's been so good looping around net. Pass to her sister. Great save that time by Gianna Sirachi. It was right at her foot. Now she takes one to the chest. Run down by North Shore, and the affront will continue for the Vikings.
Gavin, let's go back to the initial offensive play where Caitlin Colbert came around and she was stuffed. You had mentioned it. Who got her there? Danielle Carson on her way to USC. Unbelievable defensive performance there by number 4 on that set.
Bounce shot corralled by Sirachi.
Now, you could see why she's a Division I recruit on the Wantagh end. I mean, we've seen a lot of games on the boys' side, on the girls' side defensively. We saw Crowley the other day going to Duke. I haven't been more impressed with a defensive player this season than I have been with Danielle Carson. Not only defensively, but then, like we've talked about, she can transition up the field and find an open player. I mean, she's very talented.
She's just so speedy and such an aggressive mentality as well. Really is a deadly combination. You're starting to see some of those West Coast lacrosse programs really build themselves up. Arizona State, I think, just picked up a commit from Wantagh a season or 2 ago, and they're really starting to recruit the East Coast. So it's an interesting trend, and one that you figure these Long Island high school coaches love. They get to spread their talent all over the country. Robin Pastudge saying she runs an Instagram page with all the best alumni. of her program, and it's just stunning to see the type of talent this Wantagh program has produced. So a free space opportunity here for Balkunis.
Take 4 goals here.
Charge right on net. Russo
Wow.
diving save. Took full extension, but Emma Russo was able to stifle it.
That's one of the best saves we've seen all year. Point-blank range to come away with that one. Incredible.
Russo's been awesome. I can't believe it. Somehow Meg McCormick maybe even undersold her a little bit. She said, she's made some really big saves for us. She's been kind of a playmaker. She clears, but that's kind of what every coach says about their goalie. Russo, maybe this is just a great game for her, but taking it up to a whole nother level. She's really had some moments stifling this Wantagh attack.
You're right, Gavin. This could easily be a lead for Wantagh in this game if it hasn't been for Emma Russo. Give her a ton of credit today. And another leader on this team where North Shore know they have to step up today, and she's doing it.
Lob play in front of net, but unable to control that one was Lena Musa. Just couldn't quite redirect it the way she wanted to. So officials will say it'll be North Shore ball and a chance to clear for Russo here. Ben, we talk so much in these games about the importance of possession and how it seems to be a pretty direct correlation. You win the possession battle, you win the game. This is one of the few matchups we've seen where the inverse has been true. Wantagh has had the ball seemingly most of the afternoon, and yet North Shore still holds a 1-goal lead.
You're right about that. And, outside of the individual efforts by Balkunis, when they've had the ball, they haven't been able to do much with it because North Shore's defense has been that good. And I think that's where you begin the analysis of this game has been North Shore defensively. Then you add to the fact you have the Colbert sisters, and now you've got a 1-goal lead, but it's only a 1-goal lead. So that tells you how good Wantagh has been playing. North Shore is never in a rush when Russo has the ball to get rid of it. I've noticed that today. She will wait until she finds a wide open player before she gives up that ball. Sometimes you'll see goalies, Gavin, run up the field to try to make a play. Not Emma Russo. She takes her time.
And so many times in recent weeks, you see these teams that, both on the boys and girls side, that have such high-level offensive players. Their goal, they're saying we want to attack, we want to push the pace, we want to have as many possessions as possible. North Shore, they're almost like a mid-major in college basketball. They're saying, we want to slow it down, we want to play our game, we want to take our time, find our stars and let them go to work. And you saw it right there, a bully ball of an attack that time by Gabrielle Scott, unable to find the back of the net, but it'll remain with the Vikings.
And I think the Vikings will have a free look here, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, it should be free position when play resumes for Casey Colbert.
There'll be a penalty here on. It's going to be on North Shore, putting on the North Shore board, but that should be on
interesting.
Wantagh, I would have thought.
Well, that was Gabrielle Scott, who was attacking for North Shore. And maybe they say she got the stick a little bit too high, trying to clear out rooms on the spin. Yeah.
She's on the sideline. So this is a big opportunity for Wantagh right now. It's a 2-minute man-up advantage for the Lady Warriors.
So Wantagh ball, and you said it with the extra player on. North Shore actually scored in this situation when there was a penalty in the first half, so could be intriguing for both sides. Great job on the ride that time by Kate Gilliam, trying to slow up Madison Taylor up that right sideline.
Got to be looking for 19 if you're Wantagh. Where is Balkunis?
Now it's centered. Another great defensive play. We've seen it time and time again. That time picking it off was Kylie Colbert. And a run the other way ahead of the defense right now is Michaela Fitzpatrick, who has it checked out of her stick. Triple team. Now she'll throw it back.
And Kylie Colbert is lurking. Is that Kylie behind net at the X? No, it is not. Schatz is lurking behind.
Yeah, Kylie's on the ball right now.
She was open for a second behind the net, and I don't think that North Shore saw her because Wantagh had triple teamed at that point. So North Shore will reset now offensively.
Still a chance to kill this penalty yet again, North Shore. It sort of feels like these penalty situations have defined this game for better or worse. Whether you're a North Shore fan or a Wantagh fan would determine that judgment. But last time we said in the EMO, the Warriors actually gave up a goal, and this time the Vikings have a chance to pull that same trick again.
And I like Caitlin Colbert with the ball in her stick before. She got around 2 defenders. And if you're North Shore, you want one of the Colbert sisters right now to have the ball, make something happen.
Cradling and delaying right now is North Shore. It's working to perfection.
Good double by Wantagh. They can afford to do that. Here's the step up.
How about that patience from Olivia Schatz? Just never panicked, able to keep it moving, and now just 10 seconds on the penalty.
Yeah, at this point, Gav, you might as well hold here and go back even strength.
Absolutely. Wantagh makes one last effort at taking it away, and a little bit overly aggressive that time was Madison Taylor.
Is she going to get a yellow card?
It looked like she clipped Casey Colbert in the face with her stick. That was a little bit of a dangerous play. So the penalty's dead, and we are back at even strength. Again, been a frustrating afternoon for Madison Taylor, the all-everything 8th grader.
Gavin, you're right. That was a little disappointing. If you're Wantagh, you had the man-up advantage there for 2 minutes and couldn't come away with a goal. That's a big momentum boost for North Shore.
So Wantagh, unless I'm misremembering, and they've had a penalty in themselves, they've had a 4-minute advantage in terms of penalty time, as you see the flag fly there, or just pulled up.
Yeah, I was going to say, the flag was up, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't flying.
The ref didn't throw it.
I thought the ref maybe hopped a little. So
maybe he didn't want to pick it up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little lazy. So free position opportunity here for Casey Colbert. Just didn't really have his heart in it. Colbert attacks, shot in. Casey Colbert, and a 7-5 advantage for North Shore.
What was great about that goal by Casey is the angle that she took. Because she was wide on the free position, it would have been a tough angle, and she took it anyways, low and to the left. You're going to see it here in a minute on the Varsity Media replay. Take a look at this. She's off to the right side and really goes left, Gavin, and that was a difficult play for the goalie. Excellent job by Casey.
Ben, isn't it one of those things where you can tell a player comes from a lacrosse family? Obviously, there are some unique talents who can pull that shot off, but these girls just seem to have every type of shot in their back pocket. It just feels like a product of spending hours and hours and hours messing around with a stick and playing in the backyard.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. As you had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we had done a piece on them last year to be exact, and that's what they said. Growing up, they played in the backyard throughout their whole lives, and they're probably still doing that to this day. They'll probably go home after the game and throw it against the net.
It's a great existence. What a way to grow up, especially you can't even imagine the pride. I'm assuming they're here today, but the two Colbert parents feel, I mean, having played the game, probably having bonded over the game, and then these 3 girls that are just so talented across the board, and they're the reason right now North Shore is in control of this one, though Wantagh looking to shift that narrative.
It's also nice to see Casey get on the board with her other sister scoring today. So you don't want to go home for dinner having heard that your 2 sisters scored and you did it. So it's nice to see that all 3 have a goal today.
It seems like in that family it's something that would come up. Some room for Madison Smith. It looked like she had a little bit of a window to take a shot there. A little bit hesitant in this second half is Smith. Shannon Sullivan, very quick, number 7 in black. Haven't gotten an opportunity to say her name much. But North Shore, they just refuse to go out of position defensively.
And if you're Wantagh and Coach Pastic here, you don't want to force anything. I was just about to say, get it to Balkunis because she's the one with the hot hand, and there she had a shot on goal. It didn't go, but I like the idea. She's got to be fed the ball throughout the rest of this game, I would think.
Balkunis, that was certainly a good look. Had room, just missed wide right. Wantagh will continue to probe, try and distort this defense. Haven't had much luck. Still scoreless 10 minutes into the second half.
That defense by Leota is stifling. They're going to get her a little over-aggressive, but I mean, you can't fault her for playing great defense today.
And again, we've talked up this Wantagh group so much, and you certainly see the individual talent defensively for them, but North Shore has been better in this one as Smith was trying to dodge her way to net. Yeah. Officials will give her free position.
Yeah, this could be a break here for Wantagh. She could get a shot on goal here, but Emma Russo's played great in the cage. This will be a battle. Let's take a look.
So here comes Smith, charging all the way to net. Jump shot had it deflected away, and that time Russo, the upperclassman, getting the better of her middle school opponent.
Nice job, Russo.
Smith, good pass, lot of room. Russo coming out again. A check and a save. Emma Russo continues to dominate. Now she throws it away, and this time she pays for it. Smith gets a goal.
Oh, boy, Gavin, you had just said great things about Emma Russo with an unbelievable save and careless that time with the ball after the save. Give a lot of credit to Wantagh, though. Right place, right time, and they come up with the goal. Let's take a look right here. It was just a nonchalant throw on the part of Emma Russo, even faking out our camera guy. He thought that was going far, and just a great job by Wantagh there. Who was it on the goal? Number 24, Madison Taylor.
Madison Taylor, excuse me. And she finally gets involved in this one. Her 43rd point, 39th goal on the season. Just ridiculous for a middle schooler. And how about the highs and the lows for Emma Russo? That was arguably her best play of the day. The check and then the save, and then she just immediately throws it over to Madison Taylor in just kind of an inexplicable turnover. I think you're right, Ben. Just wasn't quite paying attention, lost focus for a second, and she paid for it as Taylor is on the ball now and a chance to tie for this Wantagh team. So Wantagh, again, most of their success over the last few weeks has come in transition, this time trying to attack settled, and they can't do it there. As the North Shore defense holds up again. It's been that sort of night. It's taken fluky situations for Wantagh to score, whether it was a throwaway by Russo or Balankunis going through 4, 5, 6 defenders. There have been far and few between, and yet the Warriors, thanks to their dominance of possession, they're right in this one with the ball, a chance to tie with 12 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, we've got a great game, folks. We appreciate you joining us here on the Varsity Media live stream, and we hope you stick with us for the end of this game here. Just over 12 minutes left, Gavin. You can't say right now for certainty who's going to win this game. I mean, North Shore has a 1-goal lead, but that 1-goal lead almost feels like a tie.
Absolutely. It's been back and forth. You said it pregame, Ben. We've been promising it all season long. We expected this one to be highly competitive, and it has lived up to the hype in full. And Madison Taylor, you wonder if she's playing with a little bit more confidence now after finally breaking through and getting that first goal. It's almost, for another basketball analogy, but when a star player not shooting well all night gets to the free throw line, gets a couple of easy ones to go, see the ball go through the net, this time go in the net, and you get a little bit more confident.
I think you're right about that, and we'll see if that is the case. Right there, a little over-aggressive play by Kylie. And now Balkunis will have ball in her stick.
Balkunis, a whole lot of room.
She can get by those defenders. She's shown it already.
Though they slide quickly to stop her. Number 5, Francesca Carozzo, who we've mentioned quite a bit, and Olivia Schatz also in nice position there.
Ritter playing good, stepping up.
Nice pass inside, and Russo stops it again.
If you're Russo, you're not going to get rid of the ball so quickly this time. We had mentioned before how patient she is, but that was an aberration because she wasn't. That led to the goal. Now you see the difference, right, in 2 different saves as she is not getting rid of that ball so quickly.
Yeah, she's certainly wary of Madison Taylor. You got an idea of just how ridiculously talented the 8th grader is. No hesitation after she picked up that steal. A lot of players would be shocked saying, wait, the ball's in my stick. How did that happen? Instead, she just immediately reacted, put it in the back of the net, got Wantagh within 1, but now a chance for North Shore. And it's felt so often in this game, North Shore's entire offense is contingent on getting it onto their side of the field. Once they've been able to beat the ride, the Colbert sisters have more often than not made something happen.
You know, right about this time of the game, we start talking about our Igloo Lacrosse player of the game, and usually there's somebody who steps up and is an easy selection. Right now, you can go in so many different ways, Gavin. If Wantagh wins, you can give it to Balkunis. You could easily give it to Kylie, but you know, part of me is thinking the job that Emma Russo has done today, she might be in the lead. We still have a lot of clock left, but she has played a great game in that.
Emma Russo pressured, and now she throws it away again.
Man.
And who's coming to chase her? Madison Taylor trying to make her pay a second time. She does. 2 consecutive turnovers forced by Madison Taylor. And she's able to convert on them 2 times in a row. Right when we talk up Emma Russo, 2 back-breaking mistakes, and Wantagh has this thing tied up at 7.
What do they call it, the broadcaster jinx? I just gave Emma Russo the broadcasting jinx after talking her up, and that's just an individual effort by Madison Taylor. It's the second time off the goalie turnover that it's Taylor to reap the benefits. This time more of a distance to travel for that goal. A little head fake too, one-on-one. Russo had no chance there. But if you're Coach McCormick, you can't be too happy with your senior goalie in the past couple of minutes.
And that one kind of inexplicable. The first time we just saw Russo, it seemed like she just sort of threw it without thinking, but that time it was more typical of her where she was really patient, took her time, looked like she was waiting someone out, and maybe just felt the pressure of no one breaking open, forced it. And again, great anticipation by Taylor, able to step in, steal that one away, and the lacrosse equivalent of a pick six there, going coast to coast to put it home.
And one thing, just to quickly mention for Russo as well, North Shore as a team has to help her out. She can't do everything herself. So if you're Coach McCormick, you're probably telling your players, there's another save by Russo, unbelievable job. But now here, if you're North Shore, come get the ball, come help your goalie out, because Wantagh has been very good at Emma Russo's passes. So let's see if there's an adjustment right now. Gavin, you can't say anything better about the saving. She's been great point-blank range. It's just getting rid of that ball.
Olivia Benedetto, that one, unable to convert on the shot. But, Ben, I just want to mention just the confidence you see Taylor playing with now. She's struggled for so much of this afternoon, just hasn't been her typical self. But even that time, when she didn't take a shot, she passed it. It was just obvious that she is in a different headspace and she's going to be on the attack for the final 9 minutes of this one.
Sometimes playing more aggressive defensively can help you out on the other end, and if it hasn't been working for her offensively, do something different to get the ball, and that's what Madison Taylor did both times, and it paid off for her. And right now what you see is Wantagh being very aggressive, and here's another turnover, and we're going to get a high stick situation. I don't know if this is going to create some sort of penalty here. I know he will, and there comes the yellow card on Fitzpatrick. We talked about her in the first half. She went high stick to the head. You know, it's not only about Emma Russo as we watch this again. Wantagh is stepping up, attacking the net. Somebody for North Shore has to come get that ball.
Absolutely, and who else but Taylor again on the interception would have had probably another goal, at the very least a free run on net, if she hadn't been hit.
But look at the space Wantagh has right now. This is going to be another point-blank range. Emma Russo's going to have to really step up to stop this one. Wantagh on the verge of taking the lead right here.
Taylor hadn't had a single goal in over 35 minutes, looking for her third in just over 5. That one hit the top of the pole, and it went in. A hat trick for Madison Taylor in just under 4 minutes of action. She was scoreless this whole night, and she has changed that in a big way, and Wantagh has the lead.
Yeah, and Coach McCormick is going to get a timeout here. We'll take a look at this, then we'll go to break. But, I mean, it's too easy, Gavin. Off the turnover on the yellow card. Leota, give her credit. She tried what she could. That went right underneath the crossbar.
No, I think it hit the top of the crossbar, hit Russo's back, and dribbled in.
Wow. Unlucky for Russo, lucky for Wantagh, and now they go into this timeout with a 1-goal lead.
So we'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Wantagh, a 3-0 run up by 1.
Hey sports fans, why settle for watching games after they've been played? Varsity Media brings the action to you live. Contact us today to learn more about streaming your events live. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. We highlight your life.
So welcome back into the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's the Madison Taylor Show. 3 straight forced turnovers, 3 consecutive times. She has turned them into goals, beating Emma Russo. And Ben, what does North Shore have to do to turn this back around in their favor?
Well, first let's say we found the weakness here for the North Shore Lady Vikings today. We've talked so much about them defensively and how great the Colbert sisters have been playing. But if there's one weakness, Gavin, that we have seen, and it showed its head in the past 3 minutes, it has been once Russo has a save, Wantagh's coming up and attacking her, and North Shore's not providing lanes for the goalie. And if they are, she's not doing a good enough job of getting some outlet passes to her teammates. So you have to make a correction there, and that's why Coach McCormick called that timeout. What that adjustment is, I don't think you and I know that. You know, we're not in tune with the game of girls lacrosse well enough to know what kind of play calls Coach McCormick can come up with here, but it's on her to kind of make an adjustment because, hey, Russo's been great making saves, but it's after that, how do you get it to one of your transition players to get the ball back into the offensive zone for North Shore?
And how about this battle of eighth graders, a tale of two halves? Kylie Colbert, she picked up 3 goals in half number 1. We were talking about it on that initial draw control to open the second, the way she's just completely dominated that. I hesitate to call it a matchup as they haven't necessarily been guarding each other all that often, but let's just say a face-off between her and Madison Taylor, and then Taylor rips off 3 goals in just over 3 minutes and completely changes the complexion of this game. You see the talent for the young phenom on the other side for Wantagh as well.
And, they're doing it in 2 different styles. Kylie Colbert can create her own shot, and on free possession she's also scored, but Taylor's doing it because she's been aggressive defensively, especially in those loose ball or turnover situations where the goalie has it. So I give Taylor a ton of credit because, like you said, she didn't come out and play that great in the first half, but she said, hey, let me be more aggressive in a transition-type play, and that has led to 3 goals for her. A hat trick in, it come in 3 minutes or so? She scored pretty quickly.
Just a crazy run for Madison Taylor. Her Warriors lead it by 1 with 8:23 to go as we head back to the draw control circle.
It's still anybody's game, Gavin. We said when North Shore was up 7-6, it felt like a tie, and Wantaugh's up 8-7. It still feels like a tie. This can go either way. I'm sure North Shore will solve that situation on outlet passes, and it'll be a brand-new game here for the Lady Vikings.
Colbert and North Shore, they've had their struggle on those draw controls, charging hard. After that one was Andrea Leota, and it looks like she did enough to win it back for the Vikings.
We should also mention that Fitzpatrick is on the sideline now with the 2-minute penalty. Off she went high to the head, so North Shore is down a player.
Colbert versus Taylor here, and North Shore, they've almost been better playing a man down, a 1-0 advantage despite, I believe or you could say 1-1 after that last goal, but it's about 4.5 minutes in to penalty time, all of which has been in the Warriors' favor.
No, I think you're right about that. For some reason, they seem to step up the game when they were a man down, and now down a goal. I don't know if they'll be as aggressive or if they'll try to kill the clock here, 1 minute to go.
Yeah, you got to figure they'll delay and then maybe take a shot at the very end. But Wantagh, whose defense is known for applying the pressure and forcing a lot of turnovers for whatever reason, they've pulled it back a little bit, even with the extra player.
That's Kylie Colbert at the top there. She can create for herself.
Colbert content just to play keep away right now.
And, Madison Taylor is sticking her, and that's kind of been like the theme today. It's been the 2 8th graders against each other. And it's been fun to watch.
Just an epic matchup between those two.
Both of them with hat tricks, which is, it's hard to believe that 2 players with hat tricks in this game in an 8-7 game are 8th graders. Where else can you see that but Long Island lacrosse, Gavin?
No, it's special.
So they've killed the penalty. Nice job, North Shore.
Been a theme. It's a situation they consistently practice, and especially for a young team, takes a whole lot of discipline, but they're able to do it. So now a chance to focus on offense, try and tie this one up. It's Fitzpatrick probing and now pulling back out.
Yeah, Caitlin Colbert trying to make something happen. She wasn't able to beat her defender the way she likes to off the right side, so she gives it back up, and now Kylie will try to reset the offense.
Kylie, it's been a quiet second half, nearly 20 minutes in now, still without a goal. I don't think she's had a shot in the second half. Shifty, and she just lost the ball before the shot came around. So her sister, Caitlin, will have a chance now. Wantagh holding up defensively, one-on-one situations. Again, a lot of college-level talent in this game for Wantagh on the defensive end. That one a little bit too high over the cage off the stick of Michaela Fitzpatrick, but fortunately for North Shore, they were in good position, so they'll maintain control of the ball.
Fitzpatrick scoring the first goal of the game today for North Shore. That one a little bit high. If she had that again, she'd go lower.
Lob inside. Bounce shot just wide of net. Perfect opportunity for Caitlin Colbert. Just couldn't quite put it where she wanted to. Another lob, and again high, but only player in back of net that time was Michaela Fitzpatrick, so once again, North Shore maintains possession.
Sorry, Gavin. It's amazing that North Shore is getting all these looks at point-blank range and just missing on the opportunities. 2 or 3 shots in front of the goalie, and they're sailing wide.
The flag flies again. It was McKenna Booten on defense that time.
Might get a free position here for Michaela.
Looks like just that. So Michaela Fitzpatrick, who's mostly played in the crease.
See if she goes on the left side like Casey did last time North Shore was down here.
Attacks now, tries to get all the way in, but had it deflected away at the last second. I think that was the stick of Lena Musa.
Yeah, I thought Fitzpatrick got a little too fancy there. Should have let it go a little earlier. It was the extra couple of steps keeping the ball in her stick that I thought made the difference there. But North Shore continues possession here offensively.
Priority in that situation is just to get the shot off ultimately, right? Because that one is taken away. And Wantagh, as you're going to maybe see another extra man opportunity. Aggressive hit that time by Emma Fitzpatrick. I think the stick made contact to the face, and you see for Wantagh a player down.
And this one looks serious, folks, and you hate to see that. I don't know if the turf got caught underneath. I don't know exactly what happened, but it looks serious. The sticks are down, and we just hope for the best here for this Wantagh player.
All right, so we'll take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Let you know what happened with this injury when we come back.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us at 516-403-2050 for rates and packages.
So back to action on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Fortunately, the injured Wantagh player looks to be walking off under her own power. Obviously, it's hard to tell up here what the nature of the injury was, but you just hope she was all right. Just by everyone's reaction on the field, we thought it was pretty serious, but you see her walking, nodding, and unfortunately that's Madison Taylor,
Wow.
Obviously the number one option for this Wantagh team, who's been so spectacular in this second half, so you hate to see her go out for Wantagh, and I mean the initial hope is just that she's all right as she's walking over to a cart now, going to get checked out, and that's priority right now.
That's a big loss for Wantagh, and that's a big momentum boost there for North Shore. You hate to say it like that, although Wantagh with a transition play right now.
Yeah, you got to figure it's going to light a little bit of a fire under everyone else on Wantagh. Want to ensure that they don't lose this game after Taylor basically single-handedly brought them back into it. Not going to want to waste that effort.
Right, and if you're Coach McCormick, I don't know if she had a chance to talk to the team, but you got to say, hey, one of their best offensive players is out. We've got to step up our game, too. It's an advantage for us, even though, again, you hate to say it like that, but sometimes you have to take advantage of what's presented to you, and right now one of Wantagh's best attackmen is out of the game. It's not like Wantagh doesn't have enough players in their own right, and they have the one-goal lead. And right now, Gavin, the clock is not the friend of North Shore. 3:05 to go.
Yeah, Wantagh doing everything they can to play keep away here. Is Shannon Sullivan, whose name we haven't gotten to say a whole lot, but a player that Robin Pastouch really appreciates. Very quick, very strong on the ball, and able to move it along there. Now you see the deflection. Great check that time by Kylie Colbert. No officials say it was illegal, so we'll keep it on this side of the field.
North Shore must get this ball. Wantagh has really no reason to go to net right here. They can milk the entire clock and win this game 8-7, so it's on the Vikings to make something happen. That's Balkunis. But again, she's not going to go to net, Gavin, unless North Shore does something here to get the ball. And every time North Shore steps up, they give Wantagh a free play.
And North Shore, they've had some success in this game picking off passes, but Ben, you got to remember that's their style of defense isn't really predicated on forcing turnovers. It's been all about good positioning, not overexposing themselves maybe, and I'm interested to hear your take on this. This is an opportunity for Wantagh to strike if North Shore gets a little bit more aggressive and uncharacteristically out of position.
I would say yes, but Emma Russo has played so well in the cage, you almost wonder, unless it's Balkunis, as we're going to get another whistle here against North Shore. Unless it's Balkunis going to the cage, I don't know, especially with Taylor out. I don't know that I would not so much trust, but want another Wantagh player taking that shot.
So here's a run for Lena Musa, and another save for Russo, who's been so good getting that stick high and corralling those shots.
This is it, folks. I mean, this has been a great game. It's going to come down to the last 90 seconds, but what more can you ask for? North Shore has one last chance to tie this game.
High pressure from Wantagh. Casey Colbert breaking right through it, parting the Black Sea. Look at her go. Casey Colbert single-handedly against the unsettled defense. Pass up the field. Fitzpatrick forced to send it out. Whistles blow.
Are they going to give her
out.
Free possession? Wow. This is a huge change of momentum here, folks. Hold on a second.
What an incredible run for Colbert, but Ben, you got to remember Fitzpatrick. She was in this position last time, this exact spot, and unable to really get a shot off.
She has more space now, Gavin. She has more free space this time around, so she can take a quick shot on goal.
Excuse me, it's Gabrielle Scott. On the attack, goes all the way to net and puts it in, tying this one up at 8 with 1:09 left. We are dead even on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
How about that, folks? You had asked me if you thought Wantagh should take a shot. I said unless it was Balkunis, I wasn't sure because Russo has been playing so well. She got the save. Casey Colbert gets it up, and here right now doing the rest is Scott for the goal, and we're tied at 8.
Scott that time very patient, didn't force anything, got all the way up to net, and just dropped it right in. So a timeout taken. We'll take a break with it. All tied up. 1:08 to go. This one coming down to the final minute on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
War is hell. But for seriously injured Army Rangers, their families, and the families of the fallen, peace can be hell too. It's up to us to lead them back. Support Army Ranger Lead the Way Fund. Ease the costly burdens of rehab and vital living expenses. Our son Jimmy Regan would be the first to give, and he was.
Eight to 8, 1:08 to go. High drama here at North Shore High School. Gavin Shaw, Ben Turchin here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So for Wantagh, their star of the second half, Madison Taylor, she's out as far as we know. You got to figure Jill Balkunis got to get a chance to win this game.
Yeah, Madison Taylor still on the bench right now, nursing what looks to be either an ankle or a knee injury, so I don't think we're going to see her the rest of the game. We were 2 minutes away from Wantagh possibly getting this victory, and now it's legitimately tied. This can go either way. We might wind up in overtime, and obviously this draw is going to play a crucial part of it, but you got to give North Shore all the credit. That wasn't just Scott who made that happen. It was 3 players. There was the save by Russo, and how about Casey Colbert able to transition so quickly? And what about the pass, the heads-up pass that she made? We didn't even get to mention that, but 3 players for North Shore stepping up when it mattered most.
And it was so uncharacteristic of what we've seen from them in the second half, where Wantagh, especially over these last 12 to 13 minutes, have really controlled just about every moment of possession, and you never really felt like North Shore had much of a chance. We saw those moments of individual brilliance from the Colbert sisters in half number 1. They were just totally absent in the second, and who would have thought Caitlin, at least of the 3, the least productive, and the one who's been largely absent throughout this game. I think the play of the day on that run up the field.
Absolutely, yeah. That play was unbelievable for Casey. She did a great job there, and that's her game. She can transition. She has the speed, and then she also has the vision, and finding Scott there was a great job. So Kylie now on the draw for North Shore. She's been successful. Let's see if she can get it here for the Vikings.
And I'm pretty sure Shane Singa on the other side. It is in Singa. Kylie has had, not a lot of success.
Wantagh gets the ball. Big break for the Warriors with 1:02, Gavin.
And again, we were just talking about during the break. Got to figure they're going to try and get it to Balkunis. Right now, though, it's McKenna Booten at midfield.
And if you're North Shore, you don't want to give up that free possession by 8-meter line. So got to play D.
How about that speed? She started, she stopped, she continues to go. And she was stifled by Emma Fitzpatrick, who ended up in the AstroTurf.
And it's all about how they position the defense right here, how the referees do. So Fitzpatrick goes behind. She's played very aggressive defensively. And right now, they're running out of real estate. North Shore is on defense.
And you got to remember, Booten, a defensive player, doesn't play a whole lot of offense, though. They love her potential. They think she really takes after Danielle Carson. So instead moves it on. Balkunas probing, searching, finding the back of the net with 44 seconds left. Wantagh back up.
What more can you say about Jill Balkunas? She goes left, she goes right, she fakes out the defense. And on that free clear, you're going to see right there, they were looking for Balkunas. She had the pass ready to go. Look at the stutter step. That's just an outstanding individual offensive performance to get close enough to the net, score down low. I'm out of words from the way Balkunas has played today.
It was like she had a magnet and the back of the net had a magnet. She was going to find a way to get there, weaving her way through about 4 different defenders. And now on for North Shore, a whole lot of pressure here on the 8th grader Kylie Colbert to win this draw control, where for all of her ability offensively, this has been an area where, at least in this game, Ben, she struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to get the ball coming up in the air. She's very athletic, and I think, did Wantagh switch up too now on the draw? No, Insignia. Okay, so she's been very good. They're going to do a stick check. And they thought North Shore playing a little gamesmanship, asking for the stick check on Balkunas after her 4 goals, but obviously it's legal. They count. So here we go, Gavin.
So Colbert against Insignia, representative of these two teams, just a youth. Insignia, just a sophomore. Colbert, we don't have to tell you again, just an 8th grader. 44 seconds to go. North Shore absolutely needs this. Ball flies high. Colbert chasing. Insignia came up with it initially. Knocked again. And finally, corralling the ground ball is Wantagh, specifically Ali Aliamo.
And it went out of bounds. North Shore, what a turnover by Alamo. And now North Shore is going to get a crack with 27 seconds. But they better hurry up, Gavin.
So it's Kylie Colbert who forced it on the check, making up for the lost draw control.
You want Kylie or Casey in this situation here. And you see all 3 sisters in a triangle right next to each other.
Kylie looking forward, though.
Look at this. Look at the way they're set up here. Caitlin has a ton of room to get down to the net. The way things are set up, she's got to go. Look at Balkunas, too, getting right back.
Caitlin trying to do just that. 1-on-2, trying to find center. Instead, she has it checked away by Danielle Carson, the USC commit, with 15 seconds left. The play of the game defensively. Now Sullivan loses it, and they call a penalty. Overly aggressive from Kylie Colbert, trying to get it back. And with 13 seconds left, Wantagh just has to play keep away up by 1. Sullivan throws. Running with it is Booten. Booten doing everything she can. Now she moves it along. 5, 4, 3, 2, far sideline. It's Booten again, and that'll do it. Wantagh pulls it out 9-8 after their star player Madison Taylor goes out late with an injury. It's the Warriors ending the game on a 5-2 run. They come back to take this one over North Shore.
Unbelievable game on both ends. What can you say? Both teams played their hearts out. It was the difference of a couple of seconds and a draw. Could have gone either way. Could have gone North Shore's way. Give a lot of credit to Taylor, Gavin. I think she changed the momentum of the game for Wantagh, and then she was out, and Balkunas but was in the whole time, stepped up, and came away with that last goal. But, outstanding job by Wantagh, and credit to North Shore as well.
And how about that play by Danielle Carson, the final check? We've been talking about her efforts all night long. You talk to head coach Robin Pastuch. She'll tell you that Carson and Landsberg are her 2 MVPs, and you see why on that final play. So we'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our Igloo Lacrosse Player of the Game and the upcoming schedule. All that next after a thrilling 9-8 win for Wantagh over North Shore.
Now is the time to sign up with Varsity Media for this year's lacrosse season. We offer competitive filming rates for full season coverage of your team. Varsity Media also offers action photography during the lacrosse season as well. To learn more about our services, visit varsitymedia.net or give us a call today.
So back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, our Igloo Lacrosse player of the game, who else but Jill Balkunas. She sealed it on that final goal. It was an awesome effort by her. You could make a case for Madison Taylor as well, but Balkunas, that last effort is what won it for Wantagh.
Yeah, you're right. It could have been Taylor towards the end, and unfortunately she left the game with an injury. But when it was tied at the end, it was Balkunas, ball in her hand. They looked for her off the free possession play. She beat a ton of North Shore defenders today, puts it through for the game-winning goal. I mean, you could go to a lot of different players today, but really Balkunas made it happen at the end.
Absolutely electric. I mean, kept them in the first half as well. We were talking about how that North Shore defense was so good when they were settled, and Balkunas, really the exception to the rule that Wantagh couldn't make anything happen against that D.
And one thing, Gavin, as you see right now, Wantagh awarding the shield and also the arrow, which is what Robin Pastick does throughout the course of the season. If our director, Chris, can get a shot, we want to show you some of those, what that looks like here. It's something that the team does to motivate themselves each and every game. It's an award. It's something special. The shield for the defensive player, and then the arrow for the attackman there for Wantagh. And I didn't see who got it on each one, but everybody was deserving today. So congratulations again to the Wantagh Warriors for that. And then let's take one quick look at our final game of the regular season, Gavin, before we'll see if we get some playoff opportunities. But we got our last game on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a little sad. We always say upcoming schedule, and we have this whole look ahead. 4 or 5 games coming up, and now only one. Floral Park taking on Locust Valley. That'll be Wednesday, May 8th at 4:45 p.m. on, you guessed it, the Varsity Media YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Varsity Media. Ben, that one should be interesting. Floral Park trying to pull an upset against the Locust Valley team that we both got to watch earlier this season, playing some of their best lacrosse right now.
And Floral Park had a great run last year before they got upended by Cold Spring Harbor in the semis last year. So they're looking for seeding play. Locust Valley's been as hot as can be, and we'll see what happens at that game on Wednesday. And then you'll stay tuned once you subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Varsity Media. Hit that little bell for updates, and you will be updated as to our playoff games. We don't know what they are yet, but we'll be updating you in the next week or so.
Absolutely exhilarating stuff, and we've been waiting all season long. Finally, we get a classic. It's a 9-8 win for Wantagh over North Shore for Ben Turchin, for our entire crew. I'm Gavin Shaw, signing off from North Shore High School.